The journey and the process behind a cup of buckwheat tea is a long one, and it begins much before you begin to steep your healthy cup. With its fragrant aroma and nutty sweet flavor, buckwheat tea is a popular tea with plenty of healthy benefits. Unlike many other teas, buckwheat tea is gluten-free, casein-free that can be drank during any time of the day. Hi dear friends, I'm Lily from East Land Tea. Today I'd like to show you the whole production line for the buckwheat tea. Do you want to know more details? Okay, just follow me. Before show the whole production, let's have a brief information for buckwheat tea. Buckwheat tea, known as Kuqiao in China, is a tea made from roasted buckwheat grain stems or leaves of the plant. It does not have tea leaves. Many drink for related nutritional value and health purpose. It mainly have two types of buckwheat tea based on shapes: whole particles type and granulation type. Whole particles buckwheat tea is mainly processed with buckwheat seeds, which just remove husks, returning the whole grains and go ahead the process. Granulation buckwheat tea is made by buckwheat seed coat, which is separated from the whole buckwheat grain with modern technology. This separate buckwheat seed coat will processed to powder, then used as the raw material of such buckwheat tea. It's not complete buckwheat particles, so it is called granulation buckwheat tea. For this video, we'll show you the process for granulation type buckwheat tea, and in next video, we'll show you the process for whole particles buckwheat tea. Now just follow me. There are many 5 steps during the process. Pick up buckwheat, separate buckwheat seed coat, smash buckwheat seed coat to powder, baking, roast. To guarantee the raw material's quality when picking up buckwheat, the grain should be big and have plump particles. Let's see our buckwheat tea raw materials first. There are mainly 2 types of buckwheat as raw materials for buckwheat tea: yellow buckwheat and dark buckwheat. Yellow buckwheat is grown in high cold mountainous areas above 1,500 meters, while black buckwheat is grown in high mountainous areas above 2,400 meters. Therefore, the growth conditions of black buckwheat are more stringent and the production quantity is lower. The nutritional value of black buckwheat is 3 to 5 times higher than that of yellow buckwheat. Now let's see the whole production line. First, buckwheat we are put into this container. Then, with using this set of machine, the impurities such as grass stalks, stones, muds, etc. will be removed or cleaned well. After this process, the cleaned buckwheat will put into this modern technology machine to separate husks, seed coat, and coal powder. After this step, the separate seed coats are put into the grinder to powder with the superfine grinding technology. By this way, the raw materials can be crushed to 10 to 25 microns. The smaller the crushed particles, the more nutrients will be absorbed by the body. The material of buckwheat tea buckwheat seed coat powder are processed well. Now, the buckwheat husks are also removed well. After this process, these seed coat powders are stocked well and waiting for the next process, baking. However, in order to make the buckwheat tea more convenient to drink before baking, we need to process the powders into granules. Put mixed powders with pure water into the machine. Then the mixed powders will become like this type. The mixed powders will be pressed into a strip, and then gently grasp it with your hand. It will become granular. This looks like the buckwheat tea we drink. Fresh formed buckwheat tea contains more water, so it's easy to mold and spoil. Therefore, a key step, baking is needed. Baking, also known as roasting, is an indispensable step in the processing technology of buckwheat tea. This step can not only reduce the moisture content, but also achieve the purpose of maturation. The baking temperature is controlled between 56 to 60 degrees, and the temperature should be kept at a constant temperature so that the water will gradually evaporate and like toasted bread. The natural fragrance of buckwheat will also be emitted. In this way, the color and fragrance of buckwheat tea can be guaranteed. It takes an hour and a half to bake. Although the baked buckwheat tea already has its unique aroma, in order to make it richer, the next step, roasting and increasing the aroma, is needed. On one hand, the buckwheat tea fragrance will be stronger. On the other hand, it will not easy to loosen during brewing by this roasting step. It's carried out in a special machine. In this process, the buckwheat tea is heated. Then the machine keeps rotating to achieve the purpose of roasting and fragrance. Roasting is a key processing technology in the production of buckwheat tea because roasting has the greatest impact on the color and flavor of the product. It can make the brewed cup color clear and yellow-brown, with obvious buckwheat tea flavor and strong roasting aroma. The most important thing when roasting is to control the temperature and the time. If the time and temperature are not well controlled, the product will have a dark brown color, a heavy burnt taste, and no pleasant buckwheat flavor. After roasting, the machine rotates clockwise, and the roasted buckwheat tea will be poured out. The freshly filled buckwheat tea has a relatively high temperature and cannot be directly packaged. Before final packing, the quality inspection and testing is required. We need to select some shipment tea samples from different packages, then check quality, comparing with previous samples which clients confirmed with us. Finished ready cargoes only be shipped out when quality meets a customer's requirement.